Hi there, Capricorn Rising. This is your monthly reading for the month of July 2024. This is a tarot reading involving your outer world, your inner world, and maybe some helpful advice along the way. If you don't know your rising sign, you never heard of that before, there's a link in the description below where you can put in all your information being your birth date, your date of birth, your place of birth, and your time of birth. And the information that you're looking for there in your natal chart is your ascendant sign, which is the same term for rising sign. So having said that, let me show you what cards we're going to be using today. I've got the messages from your spirit animal guides right here. We're going to get an oracle card for you. And then in the first astrological spread, we're going to use the So Below deck to find out information like what's going on at home and at work, relationships, things like that. Then we're going to use the As Above deck to do the second astrological spread, where we'll find out things like who you are and what you value, secrets, aspirations, and achievements. And then at the end of those readings, we'll get a card from the spell deck. If you're interested in that, just stay tuned for that. But other than that, I'm going to shuffle and pull the cards first just to make it go a little bit quicker. So I'll see you back here in a second. Okay, Capricorn Rising. First, we're going to start off with how others see you. We have the star reversed. People may be seeing you with diminished energy, not really having a lot of fun or enjoyment in your life. You may not have a whole lot of visibility right now. Maybe not achieving your goals like maybe you wanted to. And this is just how they see you, not necessarily how you are. And I also skipped right over your card, your oracle card. You got the cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Okay. So taking that in mind, they're kind of seeing you as with diminished energy and maybe even a sense of hopelessness setting in. What you have, we have the Two of Swords reversed. So you're being pretty definitive on what you want, making choices. You may be also a little biased at this time, but you have a lot of choices to make right now. With what you're thinking about, we have the Queen of Cups reversed. You may be thinking about how you're emotionally unfulfilled, how you could have been dealing with depression lately, or just a lot of sadness coming up. Maybe difficult for you to process this sadness. You might also be feeling unsupported emotionally, like you don't have anyone to cry on their shoulder and things like that. With what's going on at home, there's a Ten of Pentacles. So everything that you've worked for is paying off, or you have like grandparents, parents, children, grandchildren. You know, there's a hierarchy of family around you in your home. And even if, you know, it's just a small family, there's still like a lot of stability there and even generational wealth or something that can be passed down to you or to your people. I really feel like this is something that you built and you're very proud of it. It's definitely driving you and motivating you like this and has been over a long period of time. And it took a long time to get to this point. With your self-expression, there's a Seven of Pentacles where you're kind of putting out this energy that you're just sort of taking stock and looking at your situation and determining what is valuable to do for you, if your work is paying off, if your life choices are paying off. And self-expression, this shows you not really engaging actively with others at this time. It's more of like a wait and watch or a kind of observational energy. What's going on at work? We've got the Devil. I definitely think there's an unhealthy attachment to work. Might have gotten entangled with lots of responsibilities or just being somewhere for a long time. And now you feel like, oh, I can't really leave because I've already, you know, a sunk cost fallacy, devoted too much time to this place. Or there's something about it that's feeding you, but it's also taking from you at the same time. Where it's like, okay, I built this generational wealth off of this work, off of this job or whatever it might be, this career. But I am not emotionally satisfied. I'm feeling emotionally down. I'm not feeling hopeful for the future. And I'm sitting here and looking at, you know, is this still worth it to me? Am I going to continue with how things are going, or is it time to make a change? With other people in your life, you've got the hangman reversed. So that's other people kind of showing you that they're going out to party and living life a little indulgently and selfishly. They're not sacrificing themselves for anything. They have their perspective and they're keeping to it. And they may be resistant to change. And I think with these two in opposition to one another, people in your life are reflecting to you what you are lacking, and they're showing you that they're willing to put themselves first and put their pleasures first, put their interests first, things that make them feel good. They're going out and they're showing up in the world and living their best life, even if that may seem to you to be selfish and self-indulgent. And it could very well be when we look at the people that are closest to us in our life, which is what this card represents, that would be like a spouse or your very best friend or whoever is the closest to you right now. They're showing us where we are lacking, and we show them the same. So you're over here with the star reverse kind of showing like depleted energies and kind of a sense of hopelessness and being stuck. And they're showing a bit of selfishness and self-indulgence, but also like a lot of enjoyment out of the pleasures of life. And this is like a covering myself and hiding away. And this is showing up and showing out. For what other people have, we have the Death card. And I think that in relationship to the ideas and concepts of that you're meditating upon and trying to make decisions on, definitely has something to do with how you're seeing major changes going on around you, especially with others in your wider circle. Some people may be actually passing away, and it's kind of like, oh my God, am I going to live the rest of my life tied to my work? There may also just be like, I sold the house because it was just, it was great for a time, but now it's too big of a burden, and I'm going off to live in an RV on the road. And you're just kind of like, maybe that's something that I would want for myself, but can I do it? Is this situation still worth it to me, or should I sell my own house? That kind of thinking. What you're learning is the Empress. So you're learning about taking pleasure and comfort in the abundance that's in your life. To be a nurturer, nurture others, nurture yourself. To be a place of respite for others, to find your place of respite and comfort. What have you built so far as the King of Cups reversed? I think emotionally closing yourself off, especially if it's at the expense of yourself, so that you can build this generational wealth and create this thing that you were striving for, which is a great deal of financial security and practical security. At some point along the way, you had to deny and suppress parts of your emotional sensitivity and freedom of expression. And so what you've created at this point regarding this situation is someone who's closed off, who doesn't know their like emotional depth. They don't know how to communicate emotions very well. Don't even know how to understand or describe how they feel a lot of the time. There could also be, in more extreme cases, jealousy, possessiveness, drug abuse, so on. But upright, this card is showing someone who is a teacher and a guide for people to learn emotional literacy and emotional moderation, how to take in stimulus that's coming in from experiences and transform it to something that is wholesome and uplifting, or at least comes to a place of understanding and acceptance. And so, and not having developed this side of yourself, you're having trouble dealing with the situation, honestly, probably with work a lot too, but also what you're seeing in the world, that you're kind of tied to a negative and positive addiction cycle here. And you're not happy with the situation, but because you didn't develop the emotional literacy that you would need to really sort through these emotions and look at them closely and say, what decision do I want to make about this? Your instinct is to suppress it, or to deal with it privately, you haven't cultivated people who are helpful to dealing with these emotions, because you don't express them, you don't talk about them. So nobody knows that you're having an emotional hard time until things get to such a degree where they're like, oh, this person is really not feeling right now. So how are other people affected, or what's going on with your friends at the very least, like the wider circle of contacts that you have? I think they know exactly what's going on with you at this point. I think they're very clear-sighted about it. It's not that you're trying to lie or that there was a secret or anything. I just think that there could have been a time where there was some question as to, well, what's going on with Capricorn rising, because it kind of seemed off, but I'm not quite sure because they don't talk about it, they know at this point, they know what's going on. They know that you're not happy with work. You're maybe fearing the end of your life, or the end of situations, and you're scared of the change. They're kind of seeing that what used to work for you is no longer, and it's causing you a lot of distress, and yet you're having difficulty explaining and to yourself, understanding what kind of distress you're in, and of course then what to do about it. And what are you limited by right now? The Eight of Pentacles. So that is the card of repetition and habits, the card of habits. And this is typically very positive habits versus this devil over here, which is negative ones. But it's like you built up a habit of hard work, dedication, and doing something again and again and again for a long time, and it served you quite well. Now that aspect is limiting you because it looks like decisions are needing to be made, stock is being taken, and changes on the horizon. And at the very least, some emotional incongruity here, speaking back to the cardinal, that needs to be rectified at the very least. And that would probably help you in sorting out what you want to do next with your life, and whether your job and your attachment to it is really worth that juice. Is that juice worth the squeeze with the Seven of Pentacles? So, some habits that were built with good and positive intentions and used to have good results are now limiting you and getting in your way. All right, I'm going to pause this and get your next round of cards. Okay, so first off, we've got, for who you actually are, we have the Nine of Wands. So defensiveness, definitely a key point here. The wounded warrior is another symbol for this card. Someone that's kind of been up and been beat up and been through it, and is still, and even because of that, is holding up defenses, is trying to protect from further injury. I think that you may be defending your past behaviors and saying, well, I did it all for the good reason and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide whether this is something that's worth defending. But you're definitely feeling vulnerable and defensive at this time. With what you value, we've got the Five of Pentacles, and that's the poverty consciousness card. It's also the card of isolation and being othered. For that being in your value system, I think that there's something that you're attached to here that's part of this issue, that you feel like a loner and an outsider. It's a very Capricorn thing to do. And it's lonely at the top of the mountain. And I think that there's something there that is subconscious, right? I mean, I'm sure you're not thinking like, yeah, I'm an outsider. Maybe you are. I don't know. But like, there's something there that you want to be on your own. You want to be left alone because that is what you found to be comfortable in the past. With what needs to change, we've got the Queen of Cups double here. Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups. And then we've got the Chariot. So obviously it's reconfirming that this emotional instability and lack of emotional literacy needs to change. You have to take control of it for that to happen with the Chariot. I think you're able to keep what emotional difficulties you're dealing with under control for now. But I think it's even saying like, to take ownership over this problem could be to let go of control. because you're suppressing your emotions. You're not talking about it. You're not sharing them, and you're not asking for help with emotional support. And I think it's that type of control over this that is shutting people out, shutting yourself out from the help that you need. And, you know, of course, you're on your defensive here. So that all clicks together, right? But it's the tarot suggesting that that's got to change, even if what you let out after all this time of holding back the dam of the flood of emotions and trauma and all the things that you've gone through, even throughout a lifetime, if that's how long this has gone on, it's going to be a little destructive. But I think that you have a wider circle of friends in your life that want to help. And there is help out there for you if you're open to it. So what's driving you? It's a sense of dependency with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. I think with this too, you're dependent on this idea of wealth and the generations that are depending on you. You're thinking about your children. You're thinking about your parents. You're thinking about your dog or your spouse or whoever in your life depends on you. I think that is like a very present and reminder of why you did what you did and why you're going to continue doing what you're doing. But you're now finding yourself at this crossroads here, Two of Swords, that I'm not able to keep doing what I've been doing. First of all, because I'm not as effective at it as I used to be. But also there's like an entanglement here that's like poisoning me. And like a reorientation is possible here for you, if you understand that for everything that you've done, you've earned the right and the I want to say honor of receiving help to deal with these emotional issues. There are people who are just waiting for the dam to release because they know that you're dealing with this, but they can't force you to speak about it. They can't force you to want to open up and talk about these things and express feelings and cry about it and cry on their shoulder and all the rest. They can't force you to do that. And I think that if you reorient your perspective to understanding that the way that you support people is also needing your emotional literacy, your emotional balance in order to get to be effective in all ways. You've got the pillar of practicality here, and you've worked very hard to build something very strong and lasting, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. You've neglected some parts of yourself, and that's why the cardinal shows up to show you're not in equilibrium. You're off balance, and you know, I think that being attached to this continuation of this, being such a driver, is not necessarily a negative thing. It's just important for you to see other perspectives around what it takes to continue a Ten of Pentacles. So with what you need to have the courage to do, we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. I actually want to get another card for that one, since that's sort of like a energy card and not too specific. Okay. There's an overabundance of earth energy here. So what that means is that you're no longer learning. You're no longer as supportive as you once were. Because the water isn't coming in, you know, the emotions aren't coming in to temper and to manage those things. So like someone that as a leader and they are also like the financial provider, they need the emotional literacy to know what is okay, when is it okay to give and support, and in what way shall I do it versus when is it okay to cut things off for the benefit of everyone, so that I don't over drain my own resources, so that I don't enable someone who could be helping themselves and who needs that growth experience instead of me carrying them through it. So there's a ceasing here of that you've ceased to learn something about the proper way of showing compassion through your fiscal and financial leadership and control over a situation. And there's the imbalance again with the High Priestess reversed. But this is also about not seeing the forest for the trees. And this is like the plan. There's a plan with the Two of Wands that needs to be made, and another person brought into the fold, because at this point it's kind of gone on a while and you're lacking perspective. And so someone else needs to be asked for their assistance and helping you sort this out. And whether that's, I'm seeing the medical thing here, whether that's professional help or someone who has wisdom in this area, you have to have the courage to reach out to someone for help with this. What are details that you need to watch out for this month? We've got the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So first of all, this could be the person that you could ask for help. This someone that's very self-assured and confident. They speak their mind. They are helpful and protective of others. They support the creative endeavors of other people, and they have a spiritual side to them. They're also very steady and solid, reliable. They show up consistently. They're dependable. I think you need to watch out for this person. There's someone here around you this month that can help you with this. Look for someone like that. They're dependable and reliable in your life, for sure. And then with your the person that's closest to you right now, something that you're going to see about them that you could, and in the mirroring, you could take in consideration of adding to your own personality. We had the Hierophant reversed. So this is a person who bucks tradition, who's not willing to sign on the dotted line to anything other than their own best interests or their own desires and will. They're willing to do things outside of the box for sure, and they go their own way. They don't need any type of guidebook to pilot their life. And if you can kind of see some parts of this behavior that you can take into yourself, I think that in total, this energy that you've attracted to yourself at this time, because you've been polarized, again, it's another polarized opposites attract energy. So you're probably seeing them as being self-indulgent, not honoring tradition, non-traditional, non-disciplined. They're not a student of anything. But whatever they want. And I know that can kind of blind you a little bit to what value there is in their way of life as well, because they are in an extreme place as well. So I'm not about to sit here and tell you need to be just like them because they're doing it all right. No. What I'm saying is there's value in not overgiving and self-sacrificing. There's value in celebrating yourself and in indulging a little bit in life and in enjoying the good things. And there's value in doing things outside of the box and not looking to some sort of rule book all the time to tell you how to live. So with secrets, things that you don't know about, we have the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles. In order to juggle everything that's going on, there's a need for you to withdraw, which means that you already have too much to juggle, and you're going to need to recuse yourself from some of your responsibilities so that you can spend some time alone and healing and introspection. You're going to need to look at your past. You need to look at your childhood, look to your traumas. What's hurt you? How did this coping mechanism come about? Where is the source of this habit or behavior that I've brought on? Where are my values really at is a huge one for you this month. What do I actually value? Do I actually value being alone and being left alone? So this is something that you may have escaped your awareness, that maybe you thought you could carry on business as usual and still kind of sort this out. I'm afraid this has gone on for far too long. There's it's built up a lot of momentum, which means it has a lot of power. Therefore, for you to be able to deal with this, you're not going to be as effective in carrying on with any other responsibilities the way you have. So you need to pick and choose which ones are non-negotiable, let go of all the rest, and withdraw and do your inner work and take care of this, and do it immediately, because the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So what are you hoping for? It's the Ace of Fire. You just want to be inspired again. You want to have that energy again. You feel depleted. You're feeling like a sense of out of control, especially with these double Queens of Cups reversed. You want to be inspired and passionate and driven and guided even. It makes sense. And I do think that, like, if you're here watching this reason, this is a great opportunity to show you that's possible for you. You're getting the information that hopefully can kind of clear a path for you and show you, okay, well, this is what's really happening with whatever clicks with you, by the way. This is what's really happening. Here's who can help. This is a serious matter that's going to be kind of disruptive to your everyday life. Therefore, you need to plan ahead and be prudent about what responsibilities are able to be let go of at this time, so that you can make space for yourself to experience and heal and let go and release and there's people around you that are ready to help you. So hopefully you've had some inspiration from this and will continue to do so in the future. What will the achievement be, having gone through this situation, if you can manage to do these two things here with what needs to change and what you have to have the courage to do, to let go and release the emotions, speak about them, experience them, sort them out, and ask for help in doing so? You'll have the Nine of Cups. That's the wish come true card. There's no better card in the deck for an aspiration, a fulfillment. It's a water card. That means it's an emotional card. You've built everything else here. There's a good balance of swords and pentacles here as well, and a little bit of wands as well. I actually see a little bit of lack in wands, to be honest. So I think that your passion and your drive is interconnected and interwoven with your emotional well-being. So, but this is an emotional well-being card of them all. It's the wish fulfillment card. And if you're able to do this, you'll very, very soon, like this is, we're just talking about July here. Very soon you will make tangible progress that can be felt immediately. This is not just like a thought process here. It's imaginative when you're developing it. But at this stage, this is the 10. It has developed. This is that card. It's telling you that you will be rewarded for being strong enough and brave enough to take care of this and approach these emotional traumas in the way that you've been holding back. You'll be rewarded for that almost immediately. So don't fear that you have anything to lose from doing this. There's people that already know that you're going through this. You're not going to shock them, and they'll be grateful and relieved that you've made the choice to approach this issue within yourself. What will you contribute? This is actually them contributing to you. As how I read it with the Ace of Pentacles reverse, is that they're offering their, showering down their financial and tangible support to you. But if you want to look at it in the reverse, when you haven't dealt with these issues, you're not able to give from a place of effectiveness. So you may be building this legacy, but if you can't share it emotionally with the people you're building it for, then what was it all for? And last, we have what needs to be released. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. So for this one, I just immediately thought, you've got to get clear on what you need to do. And, but then even like, no, hold up, I take that back. Thinking that things need to be clear and set in stone, that's what needs to be released. Because so much about emotions, this may have been why they've kind of been suppressed, is because they're nebulous and intangible and like messy and are hard for you to define. And you've got to let go of the need to define anything that's going on with you right now. It needs to be felt and experienced in like a child cries for food, or a baby would cry because it's hungry. Like the baby's not like, if I cry, I'll get food. Like it's just an instinctual matter. And I think that there's some kind of level of discomfort with how instinctual emotions are. And I understand that. And there's something you can do about that when you build emotional literacy, because then you start to understand and process your emotions as they're happening so that they're not being suppressed, shoved down, and then later just to explode. And you can get your mind to work with your emotions so that if you're feeling depressed, you can say, it's probably time that I take some time out for myself, or I need to process this thing that happened because it seems like it's still bothering me. Excuse me. So there is hope for all that. You don't have to think that like, oh, if I'm just an emotional wavering person, then I'm going to be one of these people in my life who's just like totally self-indulgent, can't take care of any of their responsibilities. Like, and nothing in life needs to be all or nothing. And I think when we think that way about things, we become so extreme that we invite our opposites all around us, and it just makes hell on earth for ourselves. So there's definitely, you have a lot of agency in this situation, which is great. You can work with it, but you need to seek help. I think it's really important that you reach out to someone in whatever way, even if it's not a professional therapist or something. If you look to someone who has like some spiritual wisdom, they're a helper, they're confident and they speak up, and you go to them and you say, hey, I've been feeling really depressed lately, or I've been having these like feelings, I'm not sure like what it's all about. They'll jump right in and help you. That's all you need to say. All right. So, sorry. Let's draw a spell deck card for you. Blade Blessing. That's one I got for the last people. Let's do something else. Okay. Garden of Enchantment. In your garden or deck planters, you can symbolically plant transformation into your life. Take a handful of beans from your pantry or a seed package and empower them by placing them on your altar during the light of the new moon. Plant them after you have prayed. I plant these seeds of fortune and change. As they grow, good luck for all will rise and flow. From this soil comes all bounty we know. There's the card if you want to pause it and read it again. Maybe do this spell for yourself. Okay, so Capricorn rising, that's all I have for you today. I know you've got this. There's definitely a lot of cards here that seem daunting, but it's, there's been a lot of themes for that kind of stuff with all of the signs this month. I think we're all being really challenged to, in our rising signs, take it to that next step of mastery. I told Scorpio rising, Sagittarius rising, I've been telling everybody, like, if it's your rising sign, you're on a level of mastery with that energy of that sign. So if you were to look at Capricorn suns, and you could say that they're in high school or getting their bachelor's in the energy of Capricorn, you're working on your dissertation, your thesis, you're getting your PhD. Like, this is the penultimate experience of Capricorn for you with it as your rising sign, which means that it's beyond hard work, it's beyond achievement, it's beyond self-control, it's beyond dedication. Now we're looking at, is it all worth it when we're left at the top of the mountainside on our own? is it actually all worth it? And how can we bring ourselves back into balance where we can be communicative empathetically and emotionally with the people that we love? So anyway, if you enjoyed that and you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That would make me really happy. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.